Thank you for listening to my experiences with bridging. I'm Clay Snell. I was the period 6 songwriting 1 bridge this year. And I'm going to go over some of my evidence about my goals. The first goal I had was to accept and provide feedback and guidance in a constructive manner. Gather feedback from yourself, your supervisor, and your clients. I made evaluation sheets that I thought would help me with this goal. And these sheets, I just made them up on the computer, and I used them so that when people would perform their songs, I could kind of have something to say about it, so I could talk to them later and tell them how well they did, or what they need to work on with that. And so I made a bunch of those and just did those whenever they performed songs and gave everyone sort of feedback on that. And then another goal I had was be tenacious. Show initiative, commitment, and persistence to get the job done. Well, I also took steps to help the other people in the class, specifically with their work. And I have some evidence right here for a student named Dakota who I was helping. And we were learning about specific keys and how to build those. And so I sort of ran through his worksheet with him. And we got the work done, and it was really good to see that he kind of understood everything, because it's difficult to learn at first, and he wasn't really like a songwriting person, but he went through and he finished and he worked on that. And he really understood it, so that was really nice to see. And then another goal that I had was to accept feedback and learn from mistakes. And I actually created some forms for people in the class to look at. It's like, here's an example of one. I just called it a bridge form. And I put some questions on there, and I had the students evaluate how they thought that I did, so that I could kind of get an idea of that. And then I also made one for my instructor, Paul Elliott. And he went through and he sort of gave some comments of how he thought I was doing with that. So it was really cool to kind of see how everyone thought I was doing. And so I thought that answered my objective pretty well. And another one is keep focused on what you are trying to achieve when suggesting alternative ways to get the job done. And so some examples of that I found were a student's song that I helped them with. They had kind of come up with all of the words and everything on their own. And then I ran through, and we had a specific project which was to use 7th chords in a song and effectively cadence using them. And so I ran through and sort of saw what he wanted the song to sound like and asked him about that. And we went through and we put chords in so he could see if he could sing along with that, and it worked well for him. And so we pretty much just made a whole song based around the chords that we figured out there. And it turned out really well. It was really good to do. Another example is I always take notes in that class. And so here are some notes. And just in case like someone needs them or they missed that class, it's really good to have them, because it's really, really easy in songwriting especially to just kind of sit there and just not do anything when they're taking notes. So I actually took notes and tried to pay attention in case someone had a specific question that they needed to ask or anything. I'd be completely ready. Another one was the last one. Monitor success to find ways to continually improve. So I took an entry from my journal that we did online as one of those, because I was really trying to focus on what specifically I was trying to accomplish. And so I would just write about how that, like what I did that day or that week had to do with my goal. And this was actually really helpful because I'm especially about to do internships right now. And we have to do something very close to this every night after internships. And so I'm kind of used to that format, so I can go in and say what I did and how that has to do with my overall goal. And I think that'll be really, really helpful with that. So I feel a little bit more prepared than I would have otherwise with that. And then once again, the bridge forms, really, I think the bridge form was a really, really good idea. I would recommend for anyone who's a bridge to go ahead and try to create their own forms. Just because it helped a lot, kind of seeing how everyone thought I was doing. And also the songwriting forms I made were very helpful for giving people advice and stuff. And so I just pretty much have all of my evidence right here. It's just the bridging evidence. And it helped a lot to kind of fill out this portfolio, because I can now use this for whatever I want. It's going to help a lot with my internship, because it has to do with music as well. so I can show how I can now teach it somewhat, and I